I'll just admit this, okay? I have not been someone that has been overwhelmingly supportive of the need for expansion. I'm not an expansionist. I believe that we had a good system. I believe that expanding to 12 felt like too many. If I'm going to be completely honest, I felt like 6 was kind of appropriate, maybe 8. 12 just felt like a lot, if I'm going to be completely honest. But now that we've gone through one regular season, I am more optimistic about the amount of teams that will make the field. I really am. Now, I think they need to adjust the criteria. I think they need to adjust the seeding. I think there's tweaks that need to be made for sure. But at the same time, I think 12 is about right, because at 12, you're already evaluating teams that have flaws, right? Those teams being Alabama, frankly, SMU, who got in, but we'll add them to the mix. Miami, Ole Miss, South Carolina, all those teams have flaws. They've shown that throughout the course of the season. That's why in some cases they have 3 losses, but they have multiple losses. Like, they have flaws. There's no denying that those teams are not perfect. But I do think that 12 feels about right. If it expands beyond 12 to 14, now you're including a lot of flawed football teams. You might, in a 12-team format, have 1 or 2, but you're probably not going to have 3 or 4 in a 12-team format. So I'm pretty encouraged about the number, but I do think we need to take a good, long, hard look at the criteria and how we seed this thing 1 through 12, because there's no reason why the number 1 seed should have more difficult matchups than the team that they just beat in the Big Ten championship game. So I'm very excited. And I think as far as the playoff is concerned, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I do think it's a net positive for the sport, because I really look at how much interest has been generated. And I know, based on our numbers, our internal numbers here at Always College Football, the amount of views, the amount of reaction, the amount of podcast downloads, we are at an all-time high over the last 3 or 4 weeks. Why do you think that was? Because more and more teams are playing games that have real, meaningful results here in the month of November. And ultimately, when interest is up, and when fan engagement is up, and when every game seemingly matters in a given weekend because of the potential fallout, perception, what have you, then we are starting to hit our stride as a sport. And while I think there's a lot of things to iron out and a lot of things to clean up and things that need to be fixed, and we can address some of those things in the offseason, let's see how the playoff unfolds, and we'll watch how this thing all we'll see how it all irons itself out. We'll see. But as far as where I stand right now here on December 8th, I think the 12-team playoff so far has been outstanding for the sport. And if you were to ask me, gun to head, when this was pushed through and this was approved and this was, hey, we're going with the 12-team playoff, I would have said, oh no, I don't love it. Well, I kind of do now. And I do think it's going to be really fun. And I do think these matchups are going to create a lot of interest. And we hope that you'll tune in for all of them beginning on December 20th, 8 o'clock Eastern time on ESPN and ABC.